and.
End.
Yeah. What up, buddy? Not exactly week's end, almost week's beginning, but at least here we are.
It's a blurry line, right? It's up to interpretation, I think. So, hey, everybody. I'm the Rab. This is Graeme Nose over there.
Hi.
And we've got a new show for you.
We do.
Happy Sunday.
We're excited about it. Now, for those of you who maybe were looking for us on Friday, let's just address the elephant in the room here. So we did not go live on Friday. The reason for that was Friday was a train wreck, dumpster fire hose, hurricane wrapped in a typhoon of news. And we just decided that this show was such a big deal for so many thousands of people that we didn't want it to get lost in the shuffle. So we decided not to broadcast on Friday, and here we are together again, apart, of course. 6 feet apart. Ryan's in the other room. I'm in this room. Oh, again.
Okay, before we get to that,
dumpster fires. Okay, yeah.
Before we get to that, though,
you got.
We've got something. We've got some funness. Is that a word? Funness. Okay.
Let's go. I like funness.
Funness. This show is the funness.
We have the funds. Funds.
The funds. Okay, let's bring in a special guest here. So we have
OCD. You put me in the middle. Oh, there. That's better.
No. I fixed it. I'm ready. We want to welcome to the show one of our Weekender super fans, Mr. Eric Lamb.
Welcome, Eric.
Welcome to the show, Eric.
Wow.
I feel like you're having trouble sort of like comprehending being on a live show with us. I know it's a lot to
Eric,
take
this
in.
is actually happening. You're really on the show with us.
Am I really on? Is that
You're really on, man. You're really on the show with us. I know it's a big deal. We're a big fucking deal, but you're on the show, man. This is really happening.
Yeah. Well, and
Look
it's not there's a reason here though. I mean, this is a special occasion. I don't know if
it is.
You know, when folks were watching a couple of weeks ago, we put forth a challenge, our first Week's Ender challenge, in the form of a fan contest. And I was wearing a T-shirt from Super 7 with a bunch of spaceships, vehicles, robots, all kinds of a silhouette of a bunch of nerdy things. And we issued a challenge to our fans and said, who can name them all? Well, you're looking at him, ladies and gentlemen. It's Eric J. Lamb on the Twitters.
That's right.
Sad but true. Yes.
Well, it warms our nerdy hearts to know that we have, dedicated nerds like yourself out there that have the same mindset, the same dedication, the same obsession, if you will, with sci-fi. Well, and you are the lucky recipient of a fine art collection, Star Wars 1,000-piece puzzle from your friends at Week's End.
That is awesome. So, do me a favor. Hold that closer to the camera for me there.
All right, here we go. Wait, I'm going to show you the poster on the back here. There you go.
Okay, so I have a suspicion that the artist on this is Alex Ross.
You know what? Let me see here. I don't know if it says, but you're right. It does look like Alex Ross is.
I've seen him post online before that he's done a version of that classic Star Wars image.
Yeah,
it looks like that. And for those of you
so I feel like Eric has gone above and beyond. Not only did he identify most, I'm not saying all of them, but he identified the most ships on the Super 7 T-shirt.
Are you saying
he
I
also
missed one?
knows the artist on this prize that he's?
Are you saying that I missed something?
No, you didn't miss anything.
Okay, all right. Let's be clear.
Ryan. Hey guys, can you just hang on 1 second? Yep. Hey, this is Week's End. Oh, hey Gary. Yeah.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah, I know. You guessed right correctly, but Eric guessed. I know you're a bigger fan than. I know you've been watching longer than.
Oh boy.
I know.
I was hoping this wouldn't happen, Eric.
Gary, I gotta go. Gary, we got to pay attention to Eric. Eric's on right now. We'll talk to you later.
And I've watched every show, and I know what this means to Gary,
Yes.
And I'm really sorry.
Well,
I'm not sorry, but I'm really sorry.
It's okay. You know what? I appreciate you pretending to be sorry. Sorry, Gary.
Well,
I mean,
here's the thing.
It is what it is, I guess, to quote
Gary
somebody
has a
none of us
tendency
wanna
to
quote.
get a little bit there. Have you guys seen the Venn diagram of like there's nerds, there's geeks, and there's dorks, and there's kind of like the qualities, right?
Yeah.
I think I probably have all three, tendencies towards all three of those qualities. I think if I had to say it out loud, I think Gary is trending more towards in the dork category a little bit. I don't want to
Gary.
insult Gary, but he has a
Gary.
tendency, to really to take things personally. And
Don't worry, Gary.
Gary, we still love you.
We do. Still, Gary, I don't care what Ryan says. I still think you're wonderful.
How about this, Eric?
But these two
Congratulations!
fraternity
Congratulations
brothers.
on the puzzle. We're going to get this out to your house here in Raleigh.
Very good.
And you know what we'd like to do if you want to stay on the show and hang out and talk about some stuff, we'd be happy to have you.
You guys are my people.
Stuff.
You guys are my people. And
Let's do
in
this.
fact, this is actually the second Star Wars themed contest I have won in my life. And
Wow.
Can't say that, Gary. Now can you?
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
1997 Taco Bell giveaway.
Really?
Yes.
Are you serious? That is
Damn
impressive.
Skippy. Yeah.
That's a while ago.
Holy
pre
moly,
Phantom Menace. So yeah.
Wow.
I color me impressed. Okay. So I don't ever win anything. I can't remember the last contest I've won, but that's okay.
You won the keys to my bromance heart, buddy. That's the only contest you ever need to win.
Oh boy. All right.
This escalated quickly. Let's get into some nerdy stuff.
Before things get too weird, let's go ahead and talk about the stories that we wanted to get into this week. So I wanted to show something here that I thought you both will probably enjoy. Hang on. I'm trying to find the right tab. Tab alert. Oh, here we go. All right. I'm going to bring up something that I thought was pretty cool. Check it out. So this is, I guess, what could be described as a golden ticket. This is something that Alamo Drafthouse, if you're not familiar with, is kind of like a movie theater that's a combination between a bar, a restaurant, and a really, really cool cinema, right? And it's very much the VIP kind of experience. But of course, COVID shut all that down. North Carolina has been in what we call, I guess, phase 2 or phase 2.5, lockdown for a while now. That was lifted at midnight on Thursday, and Alamo reopened. So they implemented some really cool procedures, though. And I went with a buddy of mine to see the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back.
Oh.
So speaking of Star Wars, here's the princess, flawless baby, wearing her mask. Alamo in Raleigh, though, is a really cool experience because not only is it VIP, but it was like extra VIP. I mean, they had literally had rows that were closed.
So much VIP.
As soon as you pick your seat, they put in buffer seats. Masks were required throughout the entire film, unless you were, of course, enjoying your food or drink. So it felt like a very cool environment. And the film was #flawless.
That's awesome.
The other thing that I think you guys would freak out about was the pre-show reel that they do. They do about 30 minutes of like crazy videos before every show. And for Empire Strikes Back, of course, they had like all these toy ads and commercials.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Really weird videos of like how other countries either advertised for Star Wars or co-opted just the Star Wars motif.
Turkey did a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And have you ever seen Hardware Wars?
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, go onto YouTube and watch Hardware Wars. That is some wacky stuff. I love Hardware Wars. We used to watch that at my summer camp.
I think I'm a hair older than both of you guys. Hardware Wars was one of the things that when HBO used to show shorts in between movies, that was one of the ones that they would add in occasionally. Hardware Wars, and the other one was Closet Cases of the Nerd Kind. Yes. And I recommend that one highly too. That one's fantastic. They're both on YouTube, and but yeah, they harken back to a time gone by.
I found it.
I want to
I'm
put
all
some of
over- I
these
love
links.
Close
We'll put some of
Encounters.
these links down in the comments for people to
Oh, yeah.
enjoy in the show notes. But I geek out about that. I love these things. They had one of the things you reminded me of, Eric, when I was a kid. I grew up in Winston-Salem, and they had this pizzeria, super ran by an Italian family, awesome pizza. It was my first experience actually being exposed to New York style, like real, that kind of pizza style, and we loved it. And they started bringing in a, kids would get like a handout, like a little prize. They started giving out these little coloring books called Pizza Wars. And it was like, imagine Star Wars, but it was like Star Destroyers were like a slice of pizza, and Jabba the Hutt
that's
was like,
really, really cool.
It was really cool.
There was so much of that. There was so much of the clever, crazy, wacky, like all the stuff you would never get away with nowadays because they just lock all these brands down. But there was so much of that cool stuff because everybody was desperately trying to get onto that train, and there had never been a train like that. So just nobody really. And my favorite ones were the people where you could tell they had never watched it, and then they tried to jump on the train, and it was like pathetic. Those were the ones that I really loved. What does the child think?
Well, and
Hello,
I think
child.
that's why, and I'm glad you're showing Baby the child, because of what a great job they did as a franchise of keeping that as a complete secret. And they could have done this whole branding, build up, marketing tie-in, and Favreau, bless him, was brilliant and just said, you know what? There's no such thing as surprises anymore. Let's bring that back. And look at what it's done. It's just been amazing.
Yeah.
I cannot
totally
wait
agree.
for season 2. I don't know about you guys.
This is my new toy that I wanted to show off. It's not really a toy. It's actually a coin bank. Remember coins, ladies and gentlemen? And but you know what?
You're putting Beskar Steel in there.
I could not resist how cute this guy is. I mean, I don't know. I had to have him, and so that's my newest addition.
It's pretty great.
The thing that I would encourage everybody to do is go watch. There's a video where Conan O'Brien has still been doing his show at home, but he's doing like extended interviews where he puts them on YouTube, and he interviewed Jason Sudeikis, who famously plays the scout trooper who punched Baby Yoda, and he tells the extended story of how that internet sort of meltdown happened and how his kids got involved and all this cool story. So go watch that on YouTube on Coco.
Oh, absolutely.
Team Coco YouTube. All right, let's talk about some space stuff. Well, you know what? I got something else. I got something that I don't even want to wait any longer. I just want you, Graeme, I want you to talk about this.
So folks, this is the Atari 800 XL home computer. And as you know, with 64K RAM, more memory, folks, that means more power. And this was my first computer. I think we've talked a little bit about this in previous shows. Gary, I'm sure you're watching and you remember. And I loved this thing. And then probably, I'd say 20 years ago or so, my just terrible, horrible, no good sister sold it at a yard sale. And that was the end of it. I never saw it again. And I've been trying to find it. Well, let me tell you something, folks. Ryan, go ahead and bring me into full screen here.
All right, here we go. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen?
We'll check it out. There it is.
Oh boy, that's
amazing.
Wow.
There it is. But here's the best part, guys. Check this stuff out. Look at this dude.
Oh yeah, he's doing business. He's doing the business.
That's
well, it says right there with the extra memory, I can do the business.
This is the Microsoft Basic guy.
Right.
This is the veterinarian, I guess.
You're saving dogs' lives.
This is dual disk drive guy, and this kid, we don't know.
That's the golden era. That's the golden era of advertising, folks.
It is, and it's really in there too. By the way, it's like legit. I gotta fix a couple of things. I'm still trying to get an Atari 1050 disk drive. I've got Benj Edwards is giving me some good advice on things I need to get, like you can actually use flash cards nowadays, and they have these adapters and all these different cartridge systems so that you don't necessarily have to have the actual original cartridges. You can have like one cartridge that has 1,000 games on it. Now, I'll do that, but to be perfectly honest with you, the vintage to me is what makes it fun. So just like Ryan, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the return, incredible, heroic, amazing return of my vintage original. My actual Game Boy is here in the house. Yeah. And Eric, you can see it's like literally it's right here.
Oh, we've got one. You're good.
Oh yeah. And now that I have this back, I mean, I think half the fun is getting into the retro. So anyway, it's back, and I'm really excited. There you go.
Let's talk about Meatballs.
I can't tell you how many hours I spent trying to code games out of gamer magazines.
Yes.
My neighbors had an Atari 800.
Yep.
Which was the precursor to the XL that you have. And so when it came time for us to buy one, we got the XL. And but I didn't have a disk drive. I had the tape drive. And
I saw the tape drive. You can still get the 1020.
The agony of loading games in. First, I mean, typing them in from gaming magazines and typing them in, coding line by line, and then saving them on the cassette.
That's how I got into programming. I was programming BASIC on the Commodore 64, the other type of system you could have in the day. It had cassette tapes that you could put in the back of the machine. They were almost like Nintendo cassettes.
Oh wow!
You could plug them in. That was the precursor. That was the option to load things if you didn't have the 5-inch floppy, which was like a separate unit that you plugged in.
But our game of choice on the Atari 800 XL was Miner 2049er, which is like a
Miner 2049er,
souped-up version of Donkey Kong.
Yes. Oh,
with like
man.
50 levels, and I remember beating that game and just being like one of the happiest days of my childhood.
You know what you're reminding me of? My uncle was always the guy that got the best, got the tech before anybody else. That was his thing. Every Christmas morning when we would go to their house to see what everybody got, he was that guy. He got an Atari clone, the Tandy. Do you remember the Tandy?
Oh yeah.
And all of the games were like Atari games, but slightly different, right? It was like taking, Pac-Man, and it was like tweaking it, but it was, still amazing nonetheless.
Yep.
I want to talk about a bit of an anniversary here. I just want to give a shout out to NASA. I mean, we've talked about NASA so much, on the show this year, and really since, the Apollo anniversary last July, they've been so busy and in the spotlight like they haven't been in recent years. And it is their October 1st was their 61st anniversary.
Happy birthday, NASA! Bringing back the worm logo.
Happy birthday, NASA! Now, speaking of NASA, we wanted this week to show, because of all the crazy, we wanted to have some moments of zen on the show. I thought this one was appropriate. This is the Hubble telescope showing, a time lapse of a star exploding, a supernova burst that is 5 billion times as bright as the sun was observed with the Hubble, and they put out this GIF this week. So let's just take a moment.
I'm pretty sure that's a shot of me about 5 minutes after I ate Taco Bell. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
You know how to ruin everything, Graeme.
It's usually supposed
everything.
To be a
you
joke,
just can't let me have even a single moment.
No, you'll get nothing like it. What's next?
All right. Next we have, we talked about, before we got on the show, we were talking with Eric about the launch this week. Yes. There was a rocket launch that it wasn't on my radar, on my schedule. I saw it. I saw the news about it after.
No pun intended.
There we go. But this is a video of watching the rocket ascend into, from orbit, which I just was like, whoa, I'd never seen this before. This is pretty cool.
I don't think anybody has. This was incredible.
But do either one of you know the details of the launch that can provide background on that?
Only that it's from the Wallop site, which is near Virginia Beach. Okay. And those launches can be seen from our geographic area where we are in North Carolina. I wasn't able to see this launch this time. I've seen one before, and it's kind of cool. But this view, especially that part right there, watching the stage one go back into the atmosphere and burn up, that's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. So I was super bummed when I learned that we were right in the viewing area. I noticed like people saying that they were they were bummed they couldn't see it. Here we go. Here's from launch again. You see the dot go up into the upper left-hand corner of your screen.
Ryan, did you hear, and Eric too, did you guys hear that, so there is a object that is going to come into near Earth orbit. I forget when. I don't have the deets in front of me, but I could find them. And it's been in a heliocentric orbit around the sun, and now it's coming back around sort of near Earth, and they think it's one of the Saturn V stages.
What?
Yeah, from the Apollo launch. I think it's
I guess that's the danger, right? There's things like that
Not
they
stages.
have to keep track of.
But something of that scale, and it's not a threat. It would burn up on re-entry if it came our way.
Oh yeah, no. It's not a threat, but what's cool is that it's like coming back.
Interesting.
So this is is this an artistic interpretation of a rocket from the 50s? What is this, Graeme?
You know what, dude? It's supposed to be the SpaceX Starship. I think this is what it's actually going to look like. And I don't know, man. It just looks like a can of soda that somebody put too many Mentos in and inverted. I mean, I just think it looks silly. Like, I get it. It's supposed to look slick and futuristic, but like, what kind of Thunderbirds or Go crap is this? So to me, everybody is talking about how cool this thing looks, and I'm like, is it? Now, I'm a traditionalist. I like the shuttle. I'm a huge Saturn V fan. You know, I like the Delta IV heavies that, you know, there's, you know, I like my rockets big, and I like them looking like that whole conversation was about to get real uncomfortable there. So I guess my point is, I should just go ahead and stop this conversation.
I think your point is that we should go to the next story. I think that's
I mean, look, all I'm trying to say is when you have a rocket, it's got to just. Oh, I'm doing it again. I don't know. I think the SpaceX thing looks silly. That's all I'm trying to say.
Somebody wanted to make it look like Colossus.
You know what it is, Eric? It's just Elon Musk. Now we're getting into my rant of the week. It's just Elon Musk. I want to look cool crap. And he's got to be different. You know, it's like when you watch the SpaceX launches and it's it's a whole bunch of people and they're all cheering like it's a friggin' frat party. And it's like, no, these are space launches. This is serious business, safety first. I don't know. This is my rant of the week. Elon Musk, he can't fix my solar panels. It's just the whole thing is annoying. All right, I'm done. What's next?
Wait a minute.
God, why do you?
It's over already. I was going to put a.
But this is my thing. So if you're going to do it, I'm going to keep going. He couldn't. He owed me money. Elon couldn't cut me a check. Elon Musk owed me money. That's no joke. Couldn't cut me a check. Took him like 9 months. It's pathetic. Couldn't fix my solar panels, but he's off here making silver dicks and launching them into God knows what. The thing it looks like it looks like a silo. And all I'm saying is, Elon, I know you're watching. I know you watch us every week. Listen up, dude. Put the silver dicks away. Just focus on the job at hand here, man. Like, you're running like 5 companies. I greatly appreciate SpaceX, and I like what's going on here, and I'm trying to quit it with these negative waves, but it's just like, buddy, what are you doing? Paint that thing white, put a cool logo on it. Come on. All right, my rant of the week is over. Thank you for letting me rant. Elon, I'm sorry. Right. I know you can call me later, buddy. We'll talk later.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about a feel good story here. I think you wanted to talk about some karate, as they call it.
I did. There is a lot to unpack in this trailer for season 3 of Cobra Kai. Here's the deal. If you are not a Cobra Kai fan, if you are not watching Cobra Kai, if you are not obsessing over Cobra Kai, if you're not shit shaving and showering Cobra Kai, you got a problem. This show is fantastic. Everybody I know who's seen it loves it, especially if you're Gen X, millennial, anywhere in there that Karate Kid had any meaning to you whatsoever. This show is fantastic. Eric, have you seen the show? Have you seen Cobra Kai?
I watched the first episode and decided I didn't want to invest myself in it. And no judgment there. A lot of people really have enjoyed it. I know that people were really wigging out about the end of season 2 and what that entailed.
Give it another shot, man. Look, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. It's fine. I mean, that's it. You're banned from the show for life. You're never coming back. But the point is that it's a really good show, and that trailer for season 3. So for those of you who watch it, go check out go to at Cobra Kai and just watch the season 3 trailer. There's so much to unpack there, but watch carefully because you're going to see things that you're like, wait, what? And it's full of that. So really good stuff. Really good stuff. I am excited. Season 3 is coming back in January. Season 4 has been greenlit and is in pre-production. We got to stop me. I won't stop talking about this shit. I love it.
Wait a minute. Okay, now that we've muted Graeme. So Eric, you and I can talk about our opinion that karate and high school coming of age only belongs in the cinema, not on the small screen, which I think we can both agree on, right?
Well, yeah, except, and this was not planned, but I have a black belt in karate, so I'm a little bit critical of those things.
Okay. I see where you're going. All right, so I'm gonna bring Graeme back onto the show because I feel like
it's leather, but
I feel like if we've got a black belt on our show, we've got to give deference and bow to your sensei.
Yes.
All right. So
now let me hold on. I want to give him the Miyagi face.
Nice. We'll zoom in on that. We'll fix it in post. It's going to be epic, folks. I want to talk about Pontiac minivans.
Why?
So this is really, Eric, you're going to get a kick out of this. This is an ad somebody shared this week. I've never seen this before. This is an ad for the Pontiac Transport, which I think was a complete failure, but it had all kinds of weird things that it did. There was like
it looked like a Star Trek vehicle, right? I mean,
it looks like a Star Trek shuttlecraft.
It looks like a shuttlecraft.
It looks like a shuttlecraft. And what's crazy is the ad is narrated by Patrick Stewart.
Right.
And I had never seen this before. And I thought it was so funny that they like made a thing that clearly looks like a shuttlecraft and then had Captain Picard narrate it. Like, of course that's what you're going to do. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. So folks,
it's the number one. It's rated number one in the compact truck sales satisfaction survey. So you can't argue with that, right?
But that's interesting in the context of the commercials that have been released recently for Uber Eats. Is that right? With Patrick Stewart and Mark Hamill.
I saw that.
Those are weird. I can't figure out like why are they fighting? Then they
because it's Star Wars versus Star Trek. It is the endless debate.
I know, but it's still.
I don't know. It just seemed weird to me. I was like, "What the fuck is happening here?"
It was a little esoteric. I don't know.
I get the Star Trek, Star Wars, and they were having fun. I like when he's like, "Oh, I am my own daddy," and then Patrick Stewart's like, "Wait, what?" It is fun. It is.
All right. Speaking of TV, we mentioned this on the show, but now we actually have a trailer for the upcoming premiere of The Right Stuff, which is a new series that's coming out.
So, for those of you that have read the book, if I'm really excited about this. I mean, obviously, the movie that came out in the '80s is a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, see it again. If you haven't read the book, read the book. Tom Wolfe, phenomenal film. But this miniseries really looks good. So, I mean, the book, like, there's a lot more to the book than was covered in the movie. And I think they're going to go into it a lot more here. And I'm really excited about this.
Wow.
So I turned off my Disney Plus subscription. I will be turning it back on.
Well, you got to come on now. Like, I don't want to stand in judgment or anything, but you got to turn it on for another reason, right? I mean, come on now. Like, it's almost time. I'm counting down the days. I've got a timer on my phone.
If there was a reason, it would be the Mando. But
right.
See, he agrees. But
I feel empty, so I'll just that's all I got right now.
So I wanted to talk about something that's kind of, I don't have an actual picture of it, but this GIF perfectly sort of demonstrates the vibe of a social network that I am one of the first 20 users to beta test it, I guess, or alpha test it. It doesn't even have a name yet. But there's a new social network that a buddy of mine is starting to build as an answer to, I mean, essentially what's happening with Facebook and other networks that are, folks are trying to find a reason why they should give their data to, right? We've talked about this on the show. We've talked about the Great Hack documentary on Netflix. We've talked about the social dilemma. We've talked about how it's being, the Cambridge Analytica,
Oh yeah.
Scandal, if you will, from the last election. There's a lot of reasons to be now legitimately wary because it's been verified what.
I got four friends from high school, or three friends from high
used.
school. We built our own social network. It's with 4 people. It functions exactly like Twitter. It's the 4 of us. That's it.
Yep.
We literally built our own because
it's been cool, and it's very rudimentary. It's going back to in the very, very early days of what Twitter was, which was just a texting service for like bike messengers to stay in touch with each other at all times. That's how Twitter started. And then it evolved into a very free form, just social networking tool. And now, fast forward to what we have happening with Facebook with, the quote unquote algorithm, people are looking for other places to go. I think so. Anyway, cool stuff.
Yeah, that is cool stuff. Just keep an eye on the clock there, buddy. I'm just saying.
I got an eye on it. All right, let's wrap it. I'm ready to wrap. We're going to talk about one more story, then we're going to wrap with our moment of Zen. There's no
lightning round here. All right.
Well,
I can't remember. You literally got the lightning round T-shirt in the middle. Oh.
Let's talk about VHS. Is it making a comeback? What's happening here?
It is not making a comeback.
It shouldn't make a comeback. Let's be clear.
Yeah, neither should Betamax, neither should Laserdisc. But somebody created a Tumblr, and all it is it's called the Vault of VHS, and all it shows is VHS tapes. It doesn't say what's on them. It just shows all the branding for the tapes that we used to buy when they were blank or when you needed tape. I mean, I used to work at a TV studio, and we had tons of these things. And it was just really fun. Now, Ryan, I put a link in the chat for this live stream. Can you bring that up? Because I really want to show Eric what's next. Check these out.
Oh.
That's right. VHS sneaker. These are real.
Stop
VHS sneaker. Oh, yeah. So to me, I'm sorry. I have to have this. I have to.
Oh, that's the money shot right there, baby. Look at that.
My God.
Now, wait a second. What's really cool here is, oh no, I thought the jeans were pegged, but I don't think they are. Remember, we used to do that.
No, they are.
And wrap and flip again.
You know what? You're right. It does not have the wrapped, tucked cuff on the bottom.
Yeah.
So,
but I used to do that with my Sebagos. I had Chucks, I had Vans, and I had Sebago. What I'm talking about. Like they weren't penny loafers. They were like cooler than penny loafers. Anyhow. I'm old. That's it, folks. We have 3 things that we wanted to show off for our moment of Zen to kind of retool, cleanse your soul, get you ready for the week. The first one that I wanted to show is this is a photograph that my wife took of the moon on October 1st.
Wow, dude, that is fantastic.
And I don't know. I keep telling people to take a moment and look up, and you'll see amazing things. The other thing to note here, if you're into astronomy, is that Mars is also really, really close. Mm-hmm. In terms of the orbit of the planet, close to us, and you can see Mars looks like it's a satellite above our planet right now, and it's really near to the moon. They're kind of side by side, so. If you're outside,
start the reactor.
Check it out.
Thanks, Squad.
The other cool thing about this is that the harvest moon, if you can catch it as it's coming up over the horizon, it's at its sort of peak, sort of visible size. And what I wanted to show was this photo of what photo credit goes to Aaron Groen. Sorry, but this photo
growing right now.
It's growing on me. But this photo of much more artistic than what we accomplished with our camera, but
beautiful,
amazing stuff. So
this looks a little bit like a composite, but I'll try to believe it.
No, well, I just think this is a low quality copy that I found on Twitter.
That's right. We're looking at it. Yes, I got it.
So let me switch. I want to show off this TikTok. I don't know if any of you. There was a video of a guy skating while drinking his PSL latte or his pumpkin spice latte. And it's actually a Latino guy, a Cholo, is the original TikTok. And he was doing this. And if you can hear the song, it's actually he's singing to what's the song, Eric?
It's Fleetwood Mac, Dreams.
Fleetwood Mac, right. He's singing Dreams. So this is the same song, the same format, the same thing, except it's this crazy pumpkin guy. And I love it. It gave me a little tickle. All right.
Good way to send us off, Ryan.
Yep. And to close us out,
we're done, but we're going to keep showing stuff.
We're done. This is our chamber of reflection.
Love it. I love it. Dumpster fire.
This just dial it in, folks. Dial it in.
This is very good. I like this video. Thank you for sharing it. It's very good. I am a dumpster fire.
So that's it, folks. Eric, thank you so much for
Eric,
playing
thanks
along
for joining
with
us today, man. That
your
was fun.
Your puzzle's coming your way very soon, and you can have
I'm really excited to be here.
Star Wars fun with the family. As always, I am your host, Mr. Ryan Boyles, with my intrepid co-host, adventureman friend, Mr. Graeme Noseworthy. As always, we are nerding out with you folks. Thanks for watching.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you,
See you
gentlemen.
next Friday. Thanks for joining us, Eric. Thanks, buddy.
My pleasure.